Hey all, here at OS Reviews, you're watching our video first look and a quick review of the Chen Best True Wireless Earbuds. And these sell on Amazon for under $80. They're definitely cheaper than the Apple AirPods, but at the same time, they face competition from Syllable as well as other low-cost generic true wireless earbuds. They're getting more and more popular. The price is dropping as we see more phones that doesn't have a headphone jack, and this category is getting more popular. So what's different about these? Well, they have an interesting capacitive sensor on the earbuds themselves, which you can use to simply tap to play and pause your music. The sensor also can be used for some very basic gestures. That's compared to physical keys that we tend to see on these lower cost units. Hopefully that makes the user experience a little bit more intuitive. It also comes with a charging case, so it has an integrated battery. You can pop these in and extend the battery life for a little bit longer. The battery case is claimed to be able to charge the earbuds up to 6 times before you need to charge the battery itself. And after it's fully charged, it should take roughly 45 minutes. It will play back audio for a little bit less than 3 hours. So battery life is still the biggest concern for true wireless earbuds. In the past few months, we've seen a few that have larger battery packs, but they're a little bit more chunky, but again, because they are completely wireless, there's less room to put in a larger capacity, and as a result, it's nowhere near as long as on a larger over-the-ear style Bluetooth earphones or headphones, which can get up to, let's say, 8 or 10 hours on a single go. So this is a lot shorter in that sense. So here we have the charging battery case. We also have access to a micro USB cable for charging the battery case itself. It has a very futuristic USB design. What this is used for is as a converter. So here's the battery case. The battery case obviously has a micro USB port. So when I plug this in, it reveals a USB port for me to then use this as a traditional power bank. I can then plug in a smartphone or something else to charge it. So it has a 2-in-1 functionality, a really unique accessory that I haven't seen on any other TWS earbuds so far. You also get some spare silicone tips to get a more comfortable fit. Alright, so taking a closer look at the design of the case here, it's fairly simple. It's made out of a polycarbonate plastic, as well as acrylic plastic on the front. It's not the most premium looking. It doesn't have any metal or aluminum accents, and the whole thing with the logo here I'm not a huge fan of, but nonetheless it does have a fairly discreet and compact form factor. Here's the aforementioned micro USB port for power, and there's also an attached lanyard strap, which makes it easy to put onto a backpack or somewhere to, prevent it from getting lost when you're traveling. Opening things up, this is opened up using a physical switch as opposed to magnets, so you do have to apply a little bit of pressure to open up this lid. On the inside, we have access to the left and right earbuds with the capacitive sensor on top, and it uses these pogo contact pins to magnetically charge inside of the case. You can see that when I take them out, there's a flashing indicator. That means they are in the pairing mode, so there's a bit of an LED status light integrated into the battery pack. Alright, so taking a closer look at the design of the earbuds next, again, they are fairly typical looking. There's nothing really too different or striking about the look. They are made, again, out of the same kind of matte plastic material, and they're incredibly lightweight. Definitely one of the most lightweight pairs of TWS earbuds that I've personally seen. The plastic here doesn't necessarily feel hollow, but at the same time, they weigh next to nothing. The plus side is if you're wearing these in your ears, you'll most likely feel next to nothing, and you can comfortably wear them for the entire duration of the battery run before you need to, switch them out. So they are very discreet in that sense. There's also an ergonomic kind of shape to the earbuds, which means that they can fit in relatively snugly. Now, they don't come with any large external wings, and here we have a pretty slick plastic material, so whether or not the fit will be perfect for movement, for jogging, for rigorous activity outside is another story, but for the most part they are comfortable when sitting down and listening to audio. Otherwise, you can see that a very simple presentation just has the company's logo on the other side, and then again this capacitive sensor does everything from playing and pausing the music to skipping tracks to answering phone calls, and you have the same key kind of repeated on the other side, so you can very easily tap on either one to access your controls. The pairing process is fairly straightforward. All you have to do is turn one of the earbuds on, preferably the right one, and then find it on your phone. First, you have to long hold on this power key for about 4 seconds until you see this flashing indicator, and then you're ready to go. Connect it and then turn the other one on, and it will automatically pair with the left one that has been already paired to the phone, so they will communicate with one another. There are audio prompts, such as when it's in connection mode, it will say that power on, power off, so it's not completely silent. When you're finished with it, you can also just tap on the capacitive key for a few seconds longer to turn it off. Once it is paired, I can also double tap on the key here to go into the next track. So it also works for skipping between various songs that you have stored on your MP3 player or on your smartphone. All right, so let's talk about the performance of the sound in a little bit more detail next. So I tried these out for, I would say, about 2 hours or so, and the takeaway is the sound quality is pretty good for TWS earphones. Very comparable to the Syllable D9X series that I've reviewed quite often through the various generations. That is to say, there is a little bit of audio latency, but it's not too heavy. You might have a split-second delay when you're listening to a track versus what's being displayed on screen as the video. It's not a huge deal unless you have a really action-packed sequence that's fast moving on screen if you're watching a movie, but for general music listening as well as for watching back your own video clips, it should still be an enjoyable experience. Most of the YouTube clips that I was watching were still quite enjoyable, and it wasn't really too much of an issue after I kind of got used to that brief latency. Otherwise, the sound quality is also quite strong. They have a good amount of volume to them, a slight amount of bass. It's not too bass heavy, so if you're a bass head, maybe not going to be the best in the world, but you do still hear the bass drop in EDM music. You do hear that when you are listening to, let's say, a cello or some other instruments in lower frequency. Otherwise, the mids and highs also sound reasonably clear. There's a slight amount of static or disturbance or interference when you are playing and pausing the music really frequently. Sometimes you'll hear that brief hiss for a second before it goes away. So it's not going to be hi-fi or high-res audio per se, but it's pretty common for TWS earbuds, and on these, they already sound, in my opinion at least, pretty good compared to the competition. Something I do want to point out is because everything on here is sealed. The capacitive key here doesn't have a physical button. The contact pins are using pogo dots. These are actually completely waterproof, so this is another unique feature. They are actually quite durable and rugged. You can actually wear these when you're taking a shower. You can wear these when you're going out and swimming, so that is a unique selling point that you won't find on the competing models. For my testing, the fit was also reasonably comfortable. Walking around, they didn't fall out. However, for really vigorous movements, they can occasionally slip out just because of the plastic nature and the lack of a larger external wing. Battery life was indeed around 2.5 hours in my testing when I paired it with an Android smartphone, and then it easily charged up in around 30 minutes or so with the included charging box case. Connection range, again around 10 meters or 33 feet, also remained pretty strong. It uses Bluetooth version 4.2 for that. So that's been our video first look and quick review of the Chen Best HWHP01 TWS earbuds. Again, these are unique because they are completely waterproof. They have a capacitive sensor which accesses all the controls from playing, pausing your music to going into your next track, which are very intuitive and easy to master. It also comes with a pretty handy charging case that also dubs as a power bank, a feature that I haven't seen on other competing models. With that being said, they don't have the flashiest or most elegant design, nor do they have the best construction quality or the most hi-fi sound. For that, you probably should still turn to other options. However, if you're looking for a solidly performing, durable pair of TWS earbuds that doesn't break the bank, then these are actually a solid option with a few unique features. Thanks for watching this video here at OS Reviews.